All right, I'm live. For anybody who's new here, my name is Mike Caton with Ace Method Coaching. If you want to learn more about me, you can learn that on my website at acemethodcoaching.com. Let me see here. I don't think I got the right shot up. Anyway, acemethodcoaching.com. Let me fix just my microphone, my camera. Anyway, what I do is mostly help hurdlers. I help hurdle coaches and I help hurdlers. Why? Because there's just not a lot of hurdle coaches out there or coaches that know a lot about hurdling. You get a lot of athletes who really want to get good, and unfortunately at their school they don't have anybody who can help them achieve their goals. And then the same thing, I got a lot of coaches who get thrust in this situation of working with their hurdlers, but they don't have a background there. So my mission is to help both of those groups get better at their sport. And one of the things that I do, I have a subscription where both of them, coaches and athletes, work with me, and I help them throughout their seasons, throughout the year. But I also have lots of YouTube videos, and I have a couple of products on my store that have been very popular. One is Hurdling 101, which is an instructional video and handout that teaches a person how to go from absolute beginner to being very proficient over the hurdles. And another one is a hurdle training program. I have a coach's version and an athlete's version. They're very similar. Just different language to who I'm speaking to, just some adjustments for them. But these are very robust. Like 60 pages worth of walking you through everything you need to do from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. Because if you're doing it right, you're actually progressing as the season goes on. Because being a good hurdler or coaching hurdlers well is not just about showing them how to hurdle and then hope they get faster and faster every week. They might, but to get really good, you need to train them different as the season goes on. Speaking of that, before I get into some hurdle reviews, I'm going to cover a question that was asked of me yesterday, as a matter of fact. Somebody who's been following my hurdle training program is 3 weeks out from their championship, their state championship. And they're a coach. And mostly talking about this one athlete who I've been helping him with. Anyway, I do know that in their state, their track meet is, state track meet is 3 days long. So really we have 2 weeks of solid training, and then we have the week of state, and state being Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm sorry, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So the 2 weeks prior to that week is when I think you start. I want to use the word tapering, but I don't taper the way that a lot of people do, where I cut it down to like 70% of what you're doing. I still have the same volume of work being done, but I adjust the training because it's less physically and mentally taxing on you, and it feels better and you do better. So the athletes tend to do really well. And then in the week of state, we do I would do a kind of what most people would consider of a tapered workout on Tuesday. Like I might do something really easy on Monday, a decent workout on Tuesday, and then a nice I refer to as a pre-workout workout on the Wednesday, and then they got prelims on Thursday, and then whatever they do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But the big question is really the 2 weeks prior to that, and what do you do there? Because it's not as if you don't have any meets, right? And so my question when he said how do I train them that week, because we have regionals or districts on the Wednesday. Well, it's not a simple answer because it really depends on how important districts is for you. Ideally, districts is something you can just train through because you know you're going to go to state. State is the ultimate goal, and that's really what's most important. Doing well at districts is just icing on the cake. And again, that depends on what state you're at. The person I'm talking to is in Colorado, and in Colorado, you go to state by having one of the top 18 times in the state. It's not how you place at district or regionals or anything like that, which I think is a great way to go. But anyway, so this individual has had some really great times, so it's not a definite that they're qualified for state, so they still have to do well. That means they have to perform well at districts so they can rank higher and then definitely go to state. So with that being the case, I would adjust my training to where because you need to be fresh. You can't go into Wednesday's meet being super tired, because normally I would run them really hard the Monday that's 2 weeks prior to the week of state, really hard. But I wouldn't want to have them too tired for Wednesday. So my answer to that question is still follow the plan, still have a good workout on Wednesday, but I would adjust it down to about 75% of what I have recommended in the hurdle training plan. That would be a good thing to do. And then just a pre-race workout on Tuesday, and then go crush it at the meet on Wednesday. And then you'll probably need to recover. But then I would probably either on Friday or Saturday do a pretty tough workout leading into the next week. So anyway, I hope that helped people. Just to show that coaching, there's a lot of art to it. There's the science and then there's the art to it. And you really have to go in with a plan that you're able to adjust as you go. Okay. So in addition to that, I've got 4 videos that I'm going to go over today. 2 of them are high schoolers. One is a middle schooler, and another one is an 18-year-old. So I think a U19 runner from the UK. Pretty fast. I say this, I'm enjoying the challenge of going into these live streams without having seen the videos at all. So I'm seeing the first time with you. Most of the time it goes well. My last episode a few days ago, there was 2 that I really regretted because it took me a while to just keep looking at them to figure out what was going on. And I didn't like that, but still I like this challenge, and I'd love to know if people who watch this, because it's growing, if you find that annoying, or do you wish that I was more prepared going into these? So if you could, email me or put it on this live stream. If you're watching it live, let me know. And I'll probably do a poll on YouTube when I go into the community section. I can poll people. I think that's a new question that I'm interested in, because I like these and I want to keep doing them. People seem to like them. So I'm going to jump into this one. This is Ryan. Ryan is in the 10th grade. Darn it. Darn it. Okay, hold on one second. I realize that I have it set just to watch me talk. That's okay, because I have to jump into my email really quick to see if Ryan told me who he was. I thought I had this all worked out. Give me 1 second. No, darn it, I missed this. So Ryan didn't tell me who he was. So hopefully it's really obvious. Well, I got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Okay, I know who, well, he runs 15.3, so it's going to be the guy in the all black uniform. Okay, so, because the other guy doesn't look like he's running a 15.3. Okay, Ryan, let me check this out. Full speed. Okay, so you hurdle a lot like Malik Willis, who, if you're not familiar, he's from Texas, and he is the, oh, what do you call it? I have some a personal best video featuring him. He's crushing it. He is running under 14 seconds now, and he has the same, similar to you in the way that you hurdle, and what that is a really good and really fat. What the heck? Do you see that lady is on the track setting up a hurdle right next to you as you're getting ready to hurdle? That seems pretty dangerous to me. Never have I seen that. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to watch it again. Okay, so you're fast, you stay nice and low, you're overall very efficient, but your trail leg, and this is what I compared you to Malik, your trail leg is I'm not saying it's slow, it's delayed in coming through. Okay, certainly on those first two hurdles. So let me watch you here. So at this point here, and by the way, I'm going to see some good stuff when you get to this hurdle over here, but this gives me something to look at also. Wait, I'm going to see both. Okay, I'm seeing two things that I think need to be fixed. Okay, one is, like I said, your trail leg when you're right here on the hurdle should be a little farther forward, your knee. So I would pull it through a fraction of a second sooner. The other thing, I can see that your trail arm is right here, and I shouldn't see it like that. Like you stuck it out to the side, and I don't know what that's all about. But here you are getting ready to touch down on your toe. You got your knee high. Your arm is pretty far behind you. Pretty common for really good high school boys. And there's multiple reasons for that. Sometimes it's because you're too high and you gave your body, okay, I know what it is. In your case, let me double check something here. Again, these people are just walking out on the track and you're racing right here. That is crazy. Look at this. She is in your lane and you're coming. That is ridiculous. Okay, so so good job on keeping it together here. All right. Yeah, see at this point, I should see your trail arm behind you here. And so you got it out to the side. And at this point, your knee should be, oh, like say 4 inches farther forward. This looks really good. But okay, there's something that you're doing. I can, again, it took me a while to figure this one out. Sorry, I can't get over these officials. Okay, so if I were straight on, I'd be able to prove out what I'm thinking right now. But so I think that you are over rotating your trail leg. before you bring it down. Now, here's what I mean by that. And it's tricky to understand. If I were straight on camera, I'd be able to explain it to you. So imagine that you were looking down on you from above, and we set you on a clock, right? And straight in front of you was 12 o'clock, and then straight behind you was 6 o'clock. Darn it. I just realized I've been on the wrong camera angle. Okay, so I'm going to have to redo this again. And for everybody who's wondering what the heck was I talking about, let me show you what's going on here. So Ryan's doing this race, and right here, look at this lady right here, setting up a hurdle right when he's coming at her. And if that's not, look at that. She's lifting the hurdle next to him as he's going over. That is illegal. And then if you think that's bad, look at this. Look at this lady right here. Here he is in lane 3. She's in lane 4 trying to get off the track on time. These hurdles are messed up over here. They're not even straight. Look, there she's right in his lane right here. She barely makes it out of her way. Makes it out of the way before he gets there. Anyway, so here's what I was saying. Okay, if you were to look at yourself from above and imagine that you're on a dial of a clock and 12 o'clock was straight in front of you, 6 o'clock is straight behind you, your knee right now is pointed at 9 o'clock. And then now it's pointed at 10 o'clock, and then 11 o'clock, or about 11 o'clock about right here, and then 12 o'clock right here. But then you keep, 12 o'clock right here, and then you keep swinging it like you hold it in front of you too long before you bring it down. And that over-rotating of that is causing your upper body to rotate too far counterclockwise, okay? So what I would recommend is when you are pointed at 11 o'clock is when you start driving that leg down, because it'll still get to 12 o'clock, but you won't like over-rotate past that. Anyway, so again, is bring that trail leg through a little sooner and then drive it to the ground a little sooner. And then that's really it. Those are the main things, because you are really, really fast. I don't know what your speed is. I don't know anything about you. If you've got another year or so of high school, you're going to be really good next year. Work on your strength and speed, because you look potentially really elite to me. So looking at number 2, Christian. I'm on the wrong page. Okay, Christian. Christian, all I know is Christian's in lane 6 wearing black tights. Okay, 400 hurdles. Okay, so out here. Wow, looking good. Okay, this is not the United States. Holy smokes, you're fast. Wow. Super fast. Wow. Okay. Running out of gas a little bit here, but it is a 400. Okay, Christian. So I would love you to email me back and tell me what, oh, okay. So you ran I can't can't read the clock. I bet it was super fast. Okay, if you were 53, okay. So I would love to know what your question is, because looking at you, your steps were perfect. Your speed is great. Your going over the hurdle is great. You ran a great race. I mean, you were flying, just flying. Lagos. Yeah, I mean, the only thing is I can tell you that if you were stronger on your last 100 meters, like you can see right there, you're starting to strain a little bit. Like you struggled over that hurdle, and then over here, if I remember, you struggle again. Yeah. But good, really good. So the only thing I can say is great job, because I don't see any flaws in your race. I don't see any flaws in your technique or your steps or anything. I don't know your age or anything. I'm hoping you're young, and I say that only because if you're already running this good, then you're going to be really fantastic. So Christian, get back to me and let me know if you had any specific questions for me, because other than that, great job. Okay, I'm going to go to, I don't know this person's name. All I know is that her mom is Laura, so this is Laura's daughter. What do I know about her? She's in the 7th grade. 5-stepping, she's small, she's short. She can 4-step, but feels like she's faster when she 5-steps. Okay, so it's already sent to me in slow motion. Okay. So folks who are watching, I prefer to get them in full speed and then let me slow them down, because I like to see, sometimes some things are more obvious to see in full speed than they are in slow motion, and vice versa. Just FYI. Wait up. Okay, you're right. She's a tiny little thing. Okay. All right. She looks like a good runner, though. I will say this. Okay, let me say the good things, because so she looks like a good runner. She looks athletic the way she moves. Real impressive. Does a nice job, really nice form, getting over the hurdle, which is pretty big for her. Really nice. Okay, but here's what I'm noticing. Notice, number one, she's already on her heels, but notice how much she slows down right here. Her last 2 steps going into the hurdle were her slowing down. That's a slow down step. And then here's another slow down step. And then here's another slow down step. Okay? And then she goes over, pretty nicely. But she's already at a disadvantage for being shorter. But look, she's like a foot over the hurdle. So she just made it that much worse. So that's the first thing I'd work. Well, first 2 things I'd work on is her learning how to go over the hurdle without slowing down. In fact, I would stop everything and focus on that, because number one, That's the most important thing. And then is maintaining speed. And then secondly, if she just keeps reinforcing that, it's going to be really, really hard to break later. So how do you do that? You either work with a pop-up hurdle, something lower, and then you practice going over that accelerating versus decelerating. And then when she gets the feel like, okay, I know what the sensation is like to accelerate over a hurdle, then you gradually raise it up. And if you don't have any pop-up hurdles, then I would just take this hurdle and flip it upside down so it's like a tripod. That's not the right word. You know what I mean? Like just upside down, and then run over it really fast. Get used to the feel, and then I'd bring it up to 30 inches like this. That'd be the first thing. So that is the main thing. And then let's talk about these steps. What's interesting is she doesn't look like she's really discounting her, chopping her steps here when she does 5 steps, which is really rare for someone. But that just shows me how tiny she is. So honestly, because she doesn't look to be chopping her steps, I would just let her 5-step. And then when she gets a little taller, I would, oh, by the way, if you didn't catch it, in addition to not slowing down, the other thing is stay low over the hurdle. So those two things, I'm sorry, I'm jumping back to my original thought. Those two things combined, the fact that she is taking 2 to 3 slow down steps before the hurdle, and then she jumps over a foot too high, tells me she's got too much fear going over the hurdle. That's what you need to break. So now back to the stepping. I would, while she's this height, let her keep 5-stepping. And then when she gets taller, I would teach her to 4-step, because that'll really come in handy when she becomes a 300-meter hurdler or 200-meter hurdler or 400-meter hurdler. And then when she gets even taller, then I would teach her how to 3-step. But there's no hurry. Right now, it's just the most important thing is what I started with, is teaching her how to go fast over the hurdle without slowing and not being afraid to go low over it. That'd be the main thing. Okay? All right, I hope that helped. I'm going on to Adam. Lane 6, blue and white. So right here, I do have 2 views. So I'm going to see, okay, I'm going to go to this one. So, okay, really good. Wish the quality of the video were better. Anytime I get them this size, that means if I make it big enough to see, it's quite pixelated. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. Let me just see if anything pops out of me. Obviously, you're very fast. Oh, I tell you what I like, and it's really exceptional, is okay, I'm going to see it later, I'm sure, but a really nice step to that first hurdle to where your center of mass, this is like what I want people to learn, which is just, I shouldn't see your hips go up at all. Like compared to this guy next to you, we can watch his hips raise up, but yours, your legs just wrap over the hurdle, lead leg, trail leg, just like that. That's really nice. And you come off the hurdle and your hips don't drop down. Like they just stayed pretty much even the whole way. This is the way it's supposed to look. That's interesting because last video I was super impressed with another kid, and he's also, he's from the UK. I don't really know where you're from, to be honest with you. So really good form. Really, really good form. I love the way you come off the hurdle like that. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. I want to give you something though, besides just praise. Okay, so the lead leg looks nice. You came off close to that because you're really getting your hips forward. Lead arm, I can't really see it because of the quality of the video. Trail arm comes through nice. I like the way you hold it. You do. Okay, you see how your trail arm's kind of straight behind you? I would, at minimum, bend that 90 degrees. You could even, some people these days are like, look at Holloway, you know, keeps it right there by his hip. I don't love that, but I do like the idea of minimizing it so it doesn't, doesn't swing behind you. I'm looking at your strides between the hurdle now. That's a nice one. Another nice one. And I love what we call a cut step right there. See how short that is? And then boom, you're just right over. It's like you're falling over that hurdle. Okay, good job. Let me check out your other one where you're at practice. Okay, so obviously this is a low hurdle. I don't know what that is. It doesn't even look 36 inches. It might only be 33 inches, but that's okay. I mean, you're high over it, obviously. That's okay. I'm going to check out. This is a way better video. Okay, this is a really good step right here. And I say that because I'm looking at your knees. This knee's already cut up to this knee. And then boom, you landed 4 foot. This knee's pretty caught up. That's not a really high heel recovery, so that's good. And then you have this nice step leading in. It does seem as though, but this is really trivial. I'm not even going to bring it up really because even in the Olympics they do that. But your foot's not exactly, your lower leg's not perpendicular to the ground. It's swung out to the outside a little bit, but that's not bad. Okay, trail leg looks good. I'm looking that this is parallel to the ground. This is a little forward of your hip. Okay, here's one thing. You do, well, no, it's pretty good. If anything, okay, so at this, okay, I'm sorry, I'm hesitating. Because right here, your leg is like 95% bent, straight. But then you straighten it on the way down, which isn't, that's not a problem. If you had it fully straight here, I might ask you to correct. But Hainsley Parchment keeps it straight there, so. Okay, look at this. See this straight arm here? I can't tell exactly what causes that. There's a couple things. I talked about it on Ryan's video, in the first video in this live stream. It'd be interesting to see you from the front, but I don't think you're over rotating. Could be that you're just not conscious of it. What I would do is when you pull that arm back, keep it at 90 degrees, because remember you want your hand to go brush right past your knee, okay? So when you pull it back, think about pulling your elbow back. This is good right here. So you're flat-footed here, your heel come down, and then your leg is straight on top, hips are right there. This right here is like Olympians right here. But it does seem, I feel pretty confident about this. Now, one thing that's different about them, and I would go back, if I were you, I would go look at the video that I have about perfect 110 race. You know, it shows people in the Olympics, the guys, and their knee is more rotated around at this point than yours. Okay, so that suggests that, and I did think this, but I don't know why I didn't have the confidence to say it a few minutes ago, because when you're right over the hurdle like this knee should be a few inches farther pushed forward. So this is telling me that one thing I'd work on is pulling your trail leg through a fraction of a second sooner, because I think that's messing with your balance a little bit. I do think it's kind of trivial because you look pretty good here. So that's really good. Let me know your thoughts after seeing this. All right, I'm gonna bounce back to here, go to here, go to YouTube. I've got some questions. Okay. So, 3 good questions, I think. So Jed asked, hey coach, how do I train making my trail leg not go straight up and down? Trail leg not go straight up and down. Okay. I'm guessing by that you're lifting it straight up and down. So, okay. Well, the way I teach all movements is I would go back to the basics on that. And by back to the basics, I mean go back to a wall drill where you're not moving anything, right? And you're just doing a trail leg drill. And then I would do it, well, trail leg drill, and just focus on the trail leg drill. And then what I would do is now take it a step further into a walking drill. This is all outlined in my Hurdling 101. And then also I have a YouTube video that's all about teaching beginner hurdlers. And so I would put your hands on your hips, and then you just walk doing the same perfect trail leg movement that you just did when you were doing the trail leg drill. And the reason why you want your hands on your side is because you want to isolate that movement. You don't want to confuse your brain and your nervous system with anything else going on, like how should your arms be or anything like that, right? You just focus on that leg moving perfectly. Then what you should do is now add one arm into that, and that would be your trail arm, right? And then I would just walk and then doing perfect lead leg with a trail arm. And then once I got that down, then I would add the second arm into that, and then walking over no hurdle, doing both arms in a perfect trail leg. Then I would go do walking over hurdles drill, same thing. Put your hands at your side, focus only on your trail leg, and get that perfect. And then when you get better, add one arm into it. When you get that solid, you add both arms into it. And when you can walk over, say, 4 hurdles perfectly, and your trail leg is moving perfectly, then it's time to increase the difficulty by doing skipping drills. You're now spread out the hurdles, you're doing skipping drills. Again, focus only on the leg, then add the arms. And once you get that down, then you go to jogging drills, and then you run over them. Again, they're going, each time you do that and you get faster, you have to spread the hurdles out farther, but you're doing that, but you don't progress to the next level or next distance or faster speed until you've mastered one, and you do it in progression that way. All right, cool. I think I'm looking at these backwards. Okay, so Maurice, how can I send a video that you can analyze? Okay, you do that by going to my website, acemethodcoaching.com, and you go to the hurdling page, and there's a thing on there that shows you how to submit a video. People sometimes go straight to my email, but I don't like that because I need to capture some information from you, so go through there and it comes to me properly that way. Okay, Coach, is it possible to get 2 different videos reviewed during separate live streams? Is there a limit? I've already sent in a video, but I'm considering sending another race in. Okay, so here's the deal. This is my business where I'm coaching people online, and I'm also trying to, I'm making YouTube videos with the goal of, let's just be real upfront here, the goal of making, everybody who's a content creator on YouTube is hoping to make some money off YouTube, trying to grow that. But also I have subscribers, people that are paying me $29 a month, not a lot of money, to have unlimited access to me. That means that's who I focus on every day, is answering their questions and looking at their videos. Plus I sell stuff, training plans and things like that. I just get a ton of questions and a ton of videos that people want me to help them. I want to help them, but I have to do them when I can. And so what I do is I just lump them all into a pile, and I do them on a live stream like this. Just knock them all in at once. Plus it helps me on YouTube. So it works this way. So that's a long way of explaining why there's not enough time for me to review multiple videos from people who want help from me. I'm glad that you like my help, so my recommendation is to consider my subscription. Again, it's well worth it, and you can quit anytime, so keep that in mind. Sorry. Jed said, hey Coach, how do I train making my, okay, I already answered that question. Ariwa says, Ace, it's Ryan. Oh, cool. I'm in the 10th, and it was the shuttle race we ran. Sorry, I don't really know what that means. I'm in the 10th. Does that mean 10th lane? Not sure. Anyway, Tom says, love watching these analysis live streams. Has really helped my own hurdling, even though I haven't sent any videos. Well, thank you, Tom, but send me a video, buddy. Okay, so here's Ryan again. Split was 15-3. Okay, Tom. Okay, here's Tom again. Any tips on how to continue after hitting a hurdle, or is the advice just to not? Well, that's a great one, Tom. Obviously, actually, I'm not against hitting hurdles occasionally because that means you're low enough to hit a hurdle. Ideally, you're skimming that hurdle with your hamstring and your glutes or your butt as you come down. That'd be the perfect thing, and you just tip it perfectly because that means you're really low. If you're hitting it with your lead heel as you come up, then that wouldn't be as good. But that means you might have a tight hamstring or something. But to answer your question, I'm not okay with hitting it often, but the goal is to just hold it together. The worst one is when you hit it with your ankle or your foot of your trail leg, because that really will mess you up quite a bit. And then obviously if you hit it too hard on the way up, problem. But so try to just hold it together. Race experience helps with that. And that's it. I don't know if that answered your question. Okay, so Ryan says 10th grade. Okay, good. So that's good, Ryan, that you're a 10th grade because you're really, really on the way to becoming a very good hurdler. So I'm glad that you are seeking out help right now. You're going to be pretty outstanding junior and senior in the next few years. So good job on that. Okay, so all right, looks like that's the end of the questions. This is a few glitches on there. I don't know why I keep messing that up. Anyway, but if you have any questions for me, you can go to either my website, acemethodcoaching.com, or my email, acemethodcoaching@gmail.com. And you can ask me a question. If you want me to watch your video, you go to my website and see how to do it there. Ryan jumping on last second with a question. I might buy your program over the summer. I like how you point things out, all that. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really into this. And number one, I love this stuff. It's what I was meant to do. I love explaining things to people. Try to make it as easy as possible. And I just love helping. So anyway, appreciate that. If anybody needs me, I just told you how to do it. You guys have a good day.